Hello, it's Hooves of Doom, and I'm making a topic response to Vince Venturella. And his topic this week is whether we, in our heart of hearts, really align with the forces of good, evil, or as he calls them, kind of like the spoilers, like the people that are a bit more neutral, like orcs or uruks or whatnot. Um, so I've kind of switched around over the years. It's been kind of a long, complicated story to some extent, but I would suspect that I'd probably do align myself more with the good factions than anything else. And I've, a few reasons for that. So when I started to collect Space Marines, they were my first army back in the day. And I played Blood Angels first, and then I switched over. I played Black Templar and Dark Angels, and really just wanted to, at that point, I remember talking to someone, and he asked me, this is a more experienced player, kind of like the guy that got me in and taught me how to play. And he asked me what I wanted to do, what armies I wanted to collect. And at the time, I remember saying I just wanted to collect Space Marine armies, and my thing was just going to be collect all the Space Marines. Over the years, I've definitely kind of expanded upon that, but at the time, that's what I wanted to do, and I really like playing from that the perspective of the Marines, and like that from the perspective of the Imperium. Now, a couple of years later, I bought off eBay a box of Necron Warriors, the old ones made of metal. And I remember sitting in my college dorm room, humming and hawing about this box of Necrons and whether or not I would keep them, whether or not I would kind of expand upon them. At the time, all I had was the Space Marines. And I felt kind of a tinge of regret for buying them. Not because of the cost or anything like that. It was more like it's really stupid, but I felt like I betrayed the imperial cause of, like, I played from this perspective for so long that now playing from the opposite perspective felt like a little bit of betrayal. It's really dumb. Um, but I put the box back on eBay and sold it, and one of the few times I've actually sold models. Um, and yeah, and over the next few years, as I played a few other people, they got out of the hobby, and they were good friends of mine, and I bought their armies. And so then from there on, it kind of expanded, and my aspirations for collecting Warhammer have since kind of reached every single army in both games. But so I started with that core narrative from the side of the Imperium, and then I started to really explore all the others. And I think that's something that's an interesting thing to do, to take different sides, and not just in terms of the mechanics of the game and the rules, but just to explore the story and what's going on with each of the armies. So not long ago, there was another topic response video about your personal army and the one that you really like the most. And it's really difficult for me to choose because I play all these armies, and I generally do like them all. But I would have to say it would be Beastman, because it's my first fantasy army, and Black Templar, because some good memories with that one as well. But these are polar opposites. They're completely different. And so I do like to play from different perspectives and to explore the completely different narratives of each. I can kind of get in the personality of each. Part of what draws me to different armies is history, and seeing that each army has a significant historical influence or whatnot, and to kind of explore that, and to kind of enjoy each army for what they really are, I guess. Um, so I do play multiple different sides, but when it comes to like a narrative campaign, I probably do prefer the good guys. I probably still go right back to the reason why I first got into Space Marines, I guess, in the first place. Um, there's just like my own world view is much more complicated, like in the real world, because your opponents are always humans, and so there's always a spectrum of behavior. You're always kind of opposing like your own self to some extent. In a creative narrative like the Warhammer world, the lines are very clearly drawn. There's very opposing sides. There are quote unquote good and evil sides. And even though like living within the oppressive imperium of man would be absolutely horrible, or even living within the old world empire would not necessarily be a great experience if you're just like a regular Joe, the alternatives are just far, far worse. And so that there is no way to have like an to particularly appease chaos or orcs or something like that. There's no way to around it. You must engage with them. You must defeat with them. Now the narratives are always from the perspective of the humans. I mean, it's natural, right? You can't take the perspective of an alien without a human trying to not appear human, which always fails. So the story, even though you look at the individual codex, they're written more specifically for each faction, whatever you're playing, Eldar, Orcs, or Chaos, or whatnot. But they always are taking the perspective of the humans and the Imperium or the Empire or Bretonia, what have you. They're always from the perspective of these guys are really bad. And because those lines are so drawn, and because the good guys in Warhammer are traditionally always hard pressed, I always feel like that tinge of betrayal, that tinge of regret is always kind of still there. The narrative always pushes for the good guys to, they're always at the point where they're always about to lose. The stakes for those armies are always far more higher, right? The actual number of orcs are like virtually unlimited. There's always more chaos no matter what you do. So consequently, whenever I'm playing a game even, and a bunch of elves or empire troops or guardsmen or space marines, they all just get slaughtered, I always feel bad. It doesn't matter even if I'm the one, even if I'm on the other side and I'm the one actually, going out and I've got to kill those stupid Eldar or those stupid empire troops. I always feel bad if they just get absolutely slaughtered, because I know, according to the narrative, they're a limited commodity compared to like my horrible army of ridiculous beastmen or whatnot. So I tend to always favor, even in my heart of hearts, I tend to always favor the good guys, I guess, even though I like to explore and I like to play the others from time to time. So that's kind of a rambling response to Vince. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you're kind of what alliance you actually would subscribe to, and better yet, you can make your own video response. So thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye.